Okay, I don't often get too excited, but what's in this box definitely got me excited when I brought it home. It is the PlayStation Edge controller. Have a look at the box that this guy comes in. How cool is that? So we have a zip. How awesome is that? First things first, let's talk about this controller. How awesome does this look? So many things to talk about, so let's get started. These particular thumbstick controls can be removed, and by removing them, you can replace them with these round ones, but you'll notice that it comes with two heights that you can replace, and that's the other height. Some people pay extra money just to have the extra thumbsticks which click on and give you extra height. So some people prefer that when they're gaming. Basically they just click on like so, and there you go, you can see the two different height differences and the two different patterns on top. It reminds me more of the old PlayStation 2 controllers with that sort of look and feel and that height. So some people are used to that sort of height controller and they really like it. Now let's talk about my favorite feature, which is the trigger controls. I actually have these at two different settings. So further you go down, the less distance you have before your trigger actually clicks in. So let me give that a demonstration. Right at the top, your trigger will come down all the way. In the middle, your trigger will only come down halfway. And at the bottom, your trigger is very sensitive right there. For your other trigger, exactly the same on this side. So why do I love that so much? If you're playing a competitive game like Call of Duty, your reaction time is one of your most important factors. The fact that you can pull your trigger faster than the person that you're playing against, I think is a massive game changer. Amazing reason to own one of these. So faster reaction time, bang, you've got the person in your sights. You're probably going to win more 50-50s with this particular feature. We've got the standard D-pad, your options menus, your tack button, your four different symbol buttons, but you'll notice that there's two buttons here and another two buttons that can be controlled via the back of your controller here. And you've got two different options of how you want to hook these up. So we've got this little paddle here which can clip in. So here we go. I'm gaming. I've now got another two controls that I can use whilst playing games. If you think about a particular game like Call of Duty where you have to push this button in to stab, you might like to have that as your stab, or you might like to have this one as your lay down button. The possibilities become endless when you've got four extra buttons to map to whatever game you're playing. So really love that feature. Now, if you don't like these particular ones, also come with these longer ones that you can put in. Just show you those. And there you go. When you're playing, these to me are right at your fingertips here when you're playing the game. See that? So again, really cool feature that you can map those and have them in your arsenal of extra things that you can do with your controller. Probably pretty cool with racing games where if you want to use these as your gear up and gear down as well, that these tabs would be really good for that. So on the screen now, you're actually seeing the first time you connect the controller, it's going to bring up this menu, it's going to take you through the options. It's then going to ask you, do you want to map the buttons to what particular option within the game, and then you can set up different profiles. So the profiles, you can have your controller set up differently between each game. So whatever you've mapped these buttons to, that's the profile that you set the controller up to when you do that. So that to me is also an amazing feature. For me, however, I don't actually have these plugged in. I don't map these buttons at the bottom. Yeah, you don't need to have these paddles in the bottom if you don't want that in the way when gaming. Now, I do feel that this controller is slightly smaller in the hand than just the standard controller. Now, I haven't tested that. Everything just feels a bit closer and easier to reach, but great to play with. Now, down the bottom here, you will notice this last button here, the release button. Push that over, and then this whole front piece comes off. You'll then notice that you've got these two levers that you can pull up on either side here, and you can remove this whole component here. Very common complaint with PlayStation controllers is stick drift. These mechanisms inside here actually break down over time just for constant play, and now all you need to do is buy this little module and bang, away you go. You have no more stick drift. The longevity of these controllers are amazing because you can swap components out when you need to. So that I absolutely love. Get that back in, push your arms down again, and they're locked away. This plate goes into the top part first. You just push down until it locks in. There you go. Last thing that's included is this little lock. Basically plug your cable in and you can lock your cable in place just so that it doesn't actually come unplugged whilst charging. These locks just clip into here. Keeps your cable in just in case it doesn't come unplugged. Comes with this really long cable to charge your device with. You have a Velcro strip at the back here. You pull this down and there is your charging connection for the controller there at the back there as well. So you can charge it while it's in the case. So the PlayStation dual edge controller, I think this thing is an absolute game changer. I love it. And for me, it's a highly recommended, and I think everyone should have one of these in their gaming arsenal.